significance of 100 years for anything is huge.
You can't think of knowing who Tarleton is without the Purple Poo.
There's a lot of things that come and go and never make it to 100.
100 years? Like, that's insane.
The founding of the Poo is just as mysterious as the identity of the Poos.
We were JTAC at the time, military school, 2-year, junior college, and trying to make sports a bigger deal.
Dean Davis, who was president of Tarleton at the time, wanted to have a group of students that could build their spirit and build their excitement, and so he handpicked the first group of 10.
These 10 guys united together because they wanted to increase the spirit, hence the name, the 10 Tarleton Peppers.
Don't think of pepper as pepper that you put on your food, but pepper like Pep Squad.
The main thing was there was a major curfew during the military days.
Students could not be out past 7 o'clock for women and 7 o'clock for men on the weeknights.
They were just sneaking out after curfew. They had on long coats and had on hats and concealed their identity.
And then 2 years later, of course, then the TTS came, the 10 Tarleton Sisters.
They didn't want to be left out of the thing, and it's even much harder for the women to get out of the resin halls. It stayed divided for several years, and then they started meeting together.
You know, they painted signs, so they used to use paint, where now they use marker.
And a can of purple paint fell on the sign, and they're like, man, it looks like poo. And so that's how they came up with the name of the Purple Poo. They weren't necessarily wearing like all these different masks that we do today.
In the early 70s, we didn't wear long socks, we didn't wear long sleeves, but the purple robes were still the same with the TTS and TTP on them.
Ed and them, I don't really believe they dressed out like we did. We didn't have as much worries about covering up as much of our body as they do now. They cover from head to toe, like you can't see a lick of skin on them.
If it was hot, we wore short sleeves under ours.
At some point, it became much, much more important to hide your true identity.
It's not about us behind the mask, it's about the spirit. So that's why we put so much effort into trying to conceal our identities.
You are one of 10 of 20 people of 13,000 students. You are representing Tarleton State.
They really are truly the central part of Tarleton. They're our heartbeat.
Even all those non-traditional stuff where you have people like, you know, schools coming in for tours. Will they show up? Sure, I'll get a few there. You put that robe on and you're Tarleton. It's about Tarleton.
All we did was we showed up, we were there to praise Oscar P, to bring the spirit up, to win the football game or the basketball game. And then basically there wasn't that much more things to do except to make signs and put them up on Monday night. It's a lot more exciting now than it was when I was a Poo.
We really started to go out to more events and you know, everything from athletic games to silver tap ceremonies to just being on campus and being present once again to just keep that spirit alive and keep everybody excited.
I've seen a lot more added to it. Of course, they unmask. And the other thing is giving the president a purple pig.
It was just a big ha-ha funny that turned into what it is today.
A student from the Ag Barn had painted a pig purple. At the time of graduation, you know, that student had walked across the stage with a purple pig and handed it to the president.
The graduates that are, you know, bestowing the purple pig upon the president, they're signifying a symbol of tradition, and they're passing it on for others to see and for others to embrace.
There's a lot of tradition with the Poo that's changed. There's a lot of tradition with the Tarleton part of it that's changed. There's also another thought process behind a tradition. A tradition starts somewhere.
My very favorite tradition is something that is very just simple for them, is raising Oscar P. It involves everybody that's around. It's not just us watching the Poo, but it's us becoming a little part of what they do.
Just to see everybody on the ground, just so excited. I mean, it was, ooh, yeah, that's my number one.
The feeling is even hard to describe because it's something that you want to be a part of.
One thing you have to remember is that Poo or not, they don't make the application to become a Poo. They are given a chance to become a Poo and they accept it with all the cost involved to be a Poo.
They go to way more. They go to so much more. I mean, it's a full-time job.
As an undergraduate student these days, you have a job that you're more than likely working. You obviously have a class schedule, and that varies on the amount of hours that you're taking. And then you could be going out as much as 20, 40, 50 hours a week simply for the good of Tarleton.
They bleed purple. They truly are, have so much spirit for Tarleton and everything that it stands for, so they're willing to do that.
We would really love to see a scholarship fund be created that can go back to help the active Poo.
And it's just symbolic, rewarding the hard work, the love, the dedication that they put into not only carrying out the Purple Poo tradition, but the Tarleton State University tradition.
It's not about me, it's not about us, it's about the whole student body as a whole. Everybody's got their own experience, but when it's all said and done at the end of the day, we're all Tarleton Texans, and it's just cool. It's like no other thing.
The Poo really embodies how much we love Tarleton and how much we care for our school and care for our student body. It takes work every single day, like day in, day out, to be the oldest spirit organization in the state of Texas and to make it 100 years. Like it's so, it's really hard to keep an organization running.
To see that little spark in 1921 has remained for these 100 years and is ignited and really on fire today is amazing.
Our biggest goal is to make sure this thing keeps on going and proceeding from years on, long after we're gone.
They know and love Tarleton as much as any other group on this campus.
We're still here, and it's an old spirit organization, obviously 100 years old, which is a neat thing for a university to celebrate.